First of all, don't tell me what to do. Ding dong. Hello?
سبحان فالق الإصباح.
Yes, y'all rise and praise, infidels. You've almost made it through another week facing doomsday. But we've got the nanothermite set and we're ready to light the fuse. Block the big ring punch. Run in after run in. And I got my man the vet here to lay out the battle plans for the Hameen Media Army. Get ready for war with Hacker Hameen on channelattitude.com. AEW Dynamite Review. YOLO. Oh, I'm fired up, baby. I'm fired up, man. A lot of energy today coming into today's show, and I'm glad to be back with all you guys loading up the chat room strong. I see my man Johnny Six, brother Jonas is in the house, man. We had a good time this morning recording the Friday locker room with the Striz Strangler Steve with the Wednesday locker room back in full effect, and I'm glad the vet could be joining us today. I should introduce him, but
first of all, don't tell me what to do.
I won't. I definitely won't. So, Vet, how's it going, pal? Good to see you, buddy.
Man, it's great. We don't have any. We haven't had any. What do you want to call it? Chemical warfare over here on the West Coast installation.
Yeah, man.
But hopefully you guys can breathe a little bit easier. Pun intended up there.
Yeah, it's been raining this week. That cleared up a lot of it, man. But to look at it, the energy weapon footage, possibilities of it, and other things that just dropped about energy weapons coming out of Antarctica. And I don't know, man. What are you supposed to do? I just want to open a weed dispensary, finish out my wrestling career, and fucking hang and bang, you know? But
I don't see how one thing has to do with the other.
No, it does. I figure people are going to be more stressed. The demand for crop is going to go up, right?
Yes.
So,
yes, indeed.
But some things, I guess, as we get older, we just are like, you know, what's worth me? We're, you know, it's not like it's not worth mentioning or talking about by any means, but like, what am I going to do? Today is not the day for me to fight directed energy weapon eco-terrorism. It just isn't. Yeah, you know. But it is a good day to hang with you, bro. So thank you so much. Doing a kick-ass job over there with Let's Go Brandon on the Impact Attack, and this week's special guest filling in for Big Ray. I think Chris Ams was over there with you on the Next Level Review, man. So I just appreciate you running game over there and making sure all you know, battle lines are checked out, and we got patrols everywhere.
That's right. We got to get the content out there for the people. And Chris has got some of my favorite content, so I've been trying to get him on Next Level, and his schedule just does not work out with our normal time, but because of, you know, the shuffling around and everything, he was able to make it this time, and we had a pretty good time. I liked it. I never like having to ask people to sit through an episode of NXT. That part,
yeah,
I don't like. But it is fun getting, you know, their perspective on it. I always like the fresh eyes, and that's what I kind of hope to, you know, to do here today, because, you know, with Forbidden Door coming up, you know, and as our resident New Japan correspondent, I feel like I'm here to answer any questions that the people may have, or yourself, regarding who the hell are some of these people. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, it was interesting the way they slotted them in there. I enjoyed it.
It was good, wasn't it? Like last year,
it
seemed like a snake bit event because people got hurt. People pulled out, people were sick, because that's when people were still like having those travel restrictions where you had to quarantine after landing and shit like that. So the Forbidden Door we got, even though a lot of people really liked it and it did a good house and everything, but that was, it was like put together with, Elmer's glue and popsicle sticks there. We didn't get half the matches we were promised. Man. And so this year is shaping up to be pretty nice. And it looks like, for a change, they're promoting these talents the right way so far, and they still got a couple weeks.
Yeah, and to introduce them and be like, what did we not do right? Or somebody's like, here's what we need to do, and it takes minimal effort, you know. And I thought the guys looked badass in them. So it was good, man. I like that. Something else looking badass. His plants are drying and his new seeds have sprouted. Smurfberry has 40 buds and counting from Frank's Pickle Barrel. Ass growing those horseshoegenetics.com premium cannabis genetics. And it was a big week here, man. I just got the you can get our new nutrient line at horseshoegenetics.com. But now you can buy them on Amazon using card, and the shipping, I think, it'll be included. That may end up changing down the road. But right now, available on Amazon, Horseshoe Genetics Nutrients. Worm juice. I know you love that in your coffee, Vet, in the morning. Yes, nice shot of worm juice. CalMag solution, pH up, pH down. And coming soon, our Climax cloning solution and Climax gel, not for sexual application.
I was going to say, do you have to sign NDAs for these?
Yeah, do as thou wilt, I guess, you know. So yeah, it's exciting times all the time here at HMG on all levels, and last night was an interesting show. There's some news I imagine we should cover that goes into what was up with AEW. Let's talk about kind of the controversy, and it's a guy I don't really know, so I don't want to talk anything about. I know him this way, and he's a good guy, or what have you. Is just getting hit up from, hey, did you hear the news? And about BJ Whitmer being arrested and domestic dispute, it sounds like, and then burglary, which people are like, well, he break in a house and steal stuff. Well, that can be as much as taking a girlfriend's phone, right? They'll charge you with that. I don't know any details or anything along those lines. However, as was stooged to me last night by an anonymous source, okay, this was on a door last night. Okay, I think at the show. And I don't know this dude, so I don't think you always want to be sure with security, like being let go and the guy's on his luck. Is he going to show up and do something? Like that could be one part of the case. Or is this a rib to the boys so everybody sees it when they go down, they go bury a guy because he's somebody's boy, right? Like, and you do that to like create who put that up there? Who put that up there? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know the context of that. I just got the picture. I'm just letting you guys know from a wrestler point of view which of those. One is a legitimate way. However, the other one can be a quick hang this down there and fucks with people, and then his boys are gonna stooge it and fucking, and now there's some silent little Cold War tactics going on, right? This is not out of the realm of possibility, right?
It's not. You cannot have been involved in the wrestling business to any significant degree without immediately going to like the most paranoia thoughts, paranoid thoughts. So I think most likely, if we want to be serious about it, most likely this is for like the event and building employees that don't know who this guy is, just to make sure that everybody knows, like, this is, vendors with security, those type of people. I'm sure everybody in the actual AEW knows what's up and doesn't need to be. I don't think it's not the poster doesn't look funny enough to be a rib. So I kind of feel like it's just one of those things for like the non AEW personnel.
Or are you good enough to make the poster not look like a rib?
Who are we talking about here? Who are we talking about here? We know how bad these shows are creatively. I don't know if anybody's skilled enough to get to those levels of.
No, this is what they're spending their time on. That's why. The rib
is that what it is?
Right?
But this was a good show this week, so it couldn't have been that.
It was a good show. It was. I'm not gonna lie, man.
I made a joke when I first heard about this, something to the effect of like, what they thought he was like a crooked judge for the Ring of Honor Pure title or something, because that's the last time I saw BJ Whitmer doing anything. Yeah. But it's yeah, man, like you said, I don't know anything about the guy either, or, any of the facts, but, yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't either, and that's between, him and the law at this point, I guess, but they did release them, for, PR purposes. I don't know what the deal is, but Yeah, interesting there. But I think that opens the door for Jimmy Jacobs reportedly joining AEW as a producer. I saw our own Todd Brantley putting that in the chat. I also had that up here on WrestleLink here, so we got some group mind going on here. But he's worked for WWE, and when he was released, it was because of a selfie that he took with the Bucks, and Bullet Club guys, right? So they got his back, and he's been working at Impact for a while. We kind of have a mutual interest in Congo Kong, having worked with both of them. My interaction with him was slightly odd or what have you. I'm sure some stooge report got back on something. Who knows at Impact? Yeah. But here he is, with the expansion of AEW, they're going to need more hands on deck doing stuff, with Collision and all this stuff. And this is his third trip into a big company. So got to be pretty seasoned by this time to be able to handle what needs to be handled, I believe.
I'm interested to see where that leaves Impact, because I don't miss any opportunities on Monday nights on the Impact Attack with Brandon to call Jimmy Jacobs out on the carpet for any whack creative that they may or may not, want to attribute to him.
I heard Sami Callihan might be helping out. I don't know if he was helping at the same time or not.
Yeah, well, I think he's probably definitely heavily involved in his own creative. Because it's always the same wherever he goes. So that's why I can kind of tell what he's doing. But that was like, but it seemed like a lot of that stuff fell to Jimmy. So if he's, headed for AEW, then Impact is probably going to look quite a bit different.
Well, I think the vet might need to get his resume together to submit to Impact. You've been fucking reviewing the show.
I book through osmosis. I don't get any credit. I don't do any.
Dude, you could sit here on StreamYard and have a meeting every week, dude. There's no reason why you shouldn't. You're up on the product. You have a great mind. You're trained, and fucking why not shoot a shot? You never know what might come back to you, Vet.
Yeah. Well, I know that there has to have been some inside stuff past Stooge, whatever. Somebody's a fan because stuff that I said directly has, whether it's instantly or eventually is come to pass. So it's like, all right.
That's good, man. That I feel that's the universe working in your favor, man. Obviously you're not doing it from an emotional place. You're doing it from a trained and logical one. So, hey, I'll put it out there. I think the vet should definitely be helping out if there's a need over there, man. They're not going to get anyone more up on the product week to week than Vet and Brandon here at HMG channelattitude.com.
I'll tell you this right now. Anything that has to do with me and involving that kind of stuff, it really is gonna turn into the moose over there. It's gonna be all Moose all the time. It's gonna be Moose on commentary, Moose doing backstage interviews, Moose having a main event match, Moose doing he can interview himself. Like Mick Foley did.
Yeah, dude, we could definitely just do it from two sides. Yeah, I think it's good. He's Moose's money. There's no doubt about it. And I still owe him for spearing the shit out of me. So, that son of a bitch. But, y'all, it's two Rip Rogers guys here today. If you guys want to learn a little something about wrestling, go to Amazon.com right now. The book on professional wrestling hustler Rip Rogers, lessons from the master himself, that's out there. And big show over there with this week with them, really with all HMG affiliates and trainers with Ryback.
Ryback popping in, making the rounds.
Yeah. And now that he's won, and he was also on Stevie Ray TV after the heat with Booker T. Stevie Ray, beholden to, no company and a man of, true words and thoughts. So really great to have those big views on there and give Ryback a platform to help make the rounds here. Who knows? I haven't reached out to him because I've been so busy, but maybe we'll have him on a locker room here soon and catch up with him as well.
Yeah. He'll do it. I guarantee you, based on what I've seen, because I literally have the episode with Stevie Ray up on my other monitor right now because I was watching that waiting for the show to start. And, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, it's on YouTube. There's nothing stopping you. So when you're done with us here, go over to Stevie Ray TV and check that out. And you may be surprised to see a run-in from a certain bro that that
Awesome.
may or may not be responsible for channelattitude.com.
Nice.
So check that out.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm sure we could probably do some stuff with Russo brand too, man. And I actually was watching Kevin Nash and Sean Oliver, and I guess there's going to be a sit down with Russo. I can't wait to see that as well, man. So
They've
just
stayed
awesome
friends
synergy.
over the years.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing Rene Dupree's. There's not gonna be SmackDown Live self-help group. Sorry guys, fucking
Group.
because I'll be over there on our Cafe de Rene Patreon. Rene Dupree invited me over there to watch SmackDown with them. So
Nice.
I want to keep that energy going forward. And I like all that shit, man. So it's not for me to pick and choose. It was great having Kenny Bolin, the Star Maker, on last Friday on the Friday Locker Room as well. So I feel like this is kind of a really good model, and I want to keep that energy going forward. You know what I mean? So apologies, Friday night. You guys are going to have to drink and smoke or join Rene Dupree's Patreon and hang. That's always up. For
Sure, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. What are you doing?
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, they're doing great stuff. Everybody really is. I think everyone's up in each other's game in this podcast environment and making great shows. And the shout out to all the producers who may be doing work that they're not on camera. We got a lot of them, and they bust their ass to get this content out there, chopped up, and out for you guys. So please, not only like it, but share that shit. If you're in wrestling forums or wherever, I mean, participate in the Hot Media discussion group or brand fan group. Jesus, that was a doubler. Group. Or on Renee's Facebook page and all that shit, man, or Stevie Ray TV. Please keep letting those nukes off and spreading our stuff out there, because that synergy is everything to get the snowball rolling down the hill to create an avalanche, But Jimmy Jacobs got a job. Good for him. Oh, let's see. Was there anything else? This has kind of gone viral. Couple things here that AEW Botch is going to pick up on everything. But during the big run-in last night where Eddie Kingston is supposed to be cleaning house, and it's Moxley down on the floor, like he rolls over and is like talking to Matt Jackson right in his ear. And like they're just catching on camera when they're supposed to be out there fighting. They're calling spots on hard cam. They're both sitting on hard cam side, and you can just see him over the apron doing it. Have you seen this footage yet, Vet?
I may have missed it when I was watching it. So
I missed it too when I was watching it. 1 second, let me.
And if you and I miss it, then the vast majority of people would never have seen it if it weren't for these accounts that look for this.
There they are in the back talking right there. We just missed it. They get caught pretty blatantly, like calling whatever spot's next instead of, kick me, I'm down. And, the Moxley's
don't even need to call at that point.
Yeah, well, Moxley's been, guilty of this how many times of getting caught gigging on camera. And is it really his fault? This seems to be production, not no one, but these guys are on hard cam and they're getting the beating. So it's not really production's fault. They're just not down and out, or they're not on the cell how they should be fully, and it's got these effort. Troll accounts that's what they're looking for. They're looking for any little thing, man.
You can find it everywhere. You could find it, and you can find all the same stuff in the WWE. They just don't do as many blatantly, out of control things as a rule. They try to keep things a little bit tighter there, but production truck misses shots all the time. They catch people doing things all the time. Sometimes I wonder, because they run such a tight ship over there, if a lot of times that's not on purpose, like if they want to make somebody look bad. Those kind of things. So
I agree. They're asking for last night. We did some hip hop watch along with donut porn from Dippin' Donuts. I mean, look at those triple chocolates right there. Oh,
get that out of my face,
you son of a bitch! Look at how about these, Vet? Fucking blueberry double glazed sour cream donuts, bro. Come on, man. Come on, son. Jesus Christ, why are we doing this show? Yeah, so it was a good time last night watching AEW, hanging with HMG faithful. But let's get to break it down because there was a good show. There's always just some of this PWG bullshit in these segments. You know what I mean? That makes it like,
Yeah.
and an interesting choice because the main evented, like it was a big wow of appearances, right? So I liked how it picked up momentum at the end. I think we could even gone off the air in an even more Monday Night Raw Attitude Era way where the whole locker room's fighting all over, girls, everybody, you know, and go off that way with "We gotta go, fans." It's pandemonium. They kind of did it, but what we really opened with was the main event, a pay-per-view main event. And before we even actually, I don't want to back up here and get to the show. I think this is an interesting choice in how they put this show together because what we need right now, the other biggest criticism of the week is hype for these ticket sales in Canada because these houses are absolutely brutal for pre-sale, $883 to $1,700, you know, coming off the Chicago show going to Canada. I mean, does this help at all? We need to have our Canadian heroes kind of up there promoting this week to even to save face, I think, to get them there. Jericho, Omega, Ethan Page, Dark Order guys, whoever it is, right? To be out there fanning the flames. And I proposed a free Fozzy concert, maybe switch the venue and have it as a rock and wrestling type show and say, fuck the gate. Let's just make it look cool. You know, like what's 883? Like, fuck it, man. Like, even if they give them their money back or a VIP experience for that, can we get 4,000 people in a town square at a festival and make it look like how Bischoff would with a show at the mall or at Sturgis, something along those lines, you know?
Yeah.
Because we got to do something.
Yeah, well, you know, this is a product of oversaturation. You know, you had booked all these towns for Dynamite, and then you decide you want to unveil a new show, and then you book all these towns for the new show that you just booked.
Right.
You know, so it's like you already bought. You're in Hamilton. You already bought tickets for a Dynamite. Now you want to come back and watch another, and you know, it's already forget Dude, everything.
Sorry, how good would that be? Like by Niagara Falls on the Canada side, there's these big plazas, dude. Spears is there. You know what I mean? You got Niagara Falls in the background. Could you like? I can't believe WWE kind of hasn't done it.
I'm here. I hear you. I just you know, but this is a bigger problem. It's more than just this one little leg of a tour that they're doing with this new show. It's more so the fact that, you know, like, I'm sure that I speak for a lot of people when I say that I'm old and tired. And even things that I want to do, I don't want to do them. I don't want to go drive to a venue, sit at the venue, have my ass hurt in these uncomfortable seats, even if I'm seeing things that I would normally like, or that if I was in the comfort of my own home to see, I still am like put off by the experience. I'm surrounded by these other people that I don't necessarily want to get along with, the belt fans, the neck beers, whatever everybody calls these fans or whatever. And then there's all the costs, you know, your parking, if you want to get concessions or something, a $12 popcorn ball, just whatever these things are that make this, not to mention, you know, the pricing that is pricing people out of buying these tickets. Like, what am I really paying for when, again, I could sit on my couch and pause it if I want. Like, if I'm watching the show live, I can pause and the thing will pause it for me and I can resume it. I may be a little behind what's happening in real life, but it's the same to me. The convenience of that, like, there's got to be so many people that just, these things just stack up and they just say, you know what? Pass. I like AEW, but pass. I'm not going to spend $200 for a, you know, lower bowl seat or whatever, just because it's that. And it's because there's so many shows that you have to choose from, including in these, like I said, in these same towns for Dynamite. What's the difference what you call it? You're still going to see AEW. You're seeing a lot of the same wrestlers. You don't have anything announced when you go to these things. Every Monday Night Raw that shows up in my town, I don't know who's going to be on it, so it's like it's just very tiring, I think, for a lot of people.
I agree. Big Surge says the seats are too damn small. He prefers to watch at home. Well, that's because you're as big as a goddamn Sherman tank, you big son of a bitch.
That's true, but I'm not, and the seats are still too small. That's just one aspect of many, and you take that into account, and then we can start talking about everything else. Like
when we went, Dave hooked us up with comps. Rochester, Albany, and Buffalo. We would just go hard campsite because we don't give a shit about being on camera. In fact, don't want to be, right? Mm-hmm. And so and in those top rows of that 100 section, those seats were plush, bro, lean back, like recline. And I was like, this is one of the best things. Me and Sideburns just hung out there the whole night, man. That was a nice night at the office for sure. But we kick it off with what should be a pay-per-view main event for the world title. MJF versus Adam Cole, baby. And dude, I liked a lot of the first half of this match before they start getting into a lot of overbooked stuff. Very simple psychologies and quality back and forth wrestling. The face-off, taking their time. Then we get into crazy super kicks and Panama Sunrise. Well, What do we have on the apron? Some fucking
tombstoned
him. But that was at least the double down we went to commercial on.
Long double down.
Yeah, long. So yeah, it was stupid, but at the same time, they sold it the right way. So I didn't mind it. But then we're coming back to trade chops and shit like that after Tombstone on the fucking.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to say I'll take it. At this point, we're talking about AEW Dynamite. Now, You have watched damn near every fucking episode of this show. So you know that if you're calling this overbooked, this is severely underbooked for an AEW match.
Right.
We've seen just random, as you would call them, shitty sixes that do way too much for their spot on the card. This, like you said, is a free pay-per-view main event, and they worked it like one. I'm not going to nitpick it. This was by far the best match I have ever seen Adam Cole in. And that's, I know that might surprise a lot of people because he's held in some high regard as, an independent worker, sure. WWE, NXT, that kind of stuff. But a lot of the stuff that he does, I just don't like his matches. I never have liked Adam Cole's matches because he does too much. And he does things that he refuses to work his size in the matches. Now he's got a guy who's actually similar to his size, and he's still, MJF was still having him sell for like 80% of this match, which is how it should be. If you're going to put him in a babyface role, you don't need to be hitting a bunch of stuff. So the little bit of stuff that he did hit, I'll look at that as they built to it. It made sense to a degree. I wouldn't have done the trading, like if you guys are hot at each other, I'm not going to have Cole throw a limp forearm and I'm not going to have Max throw a chop. I'm going to have them throw a punch each. But so many things in this match were so good. When was the last time you saw somebody sell their knees on a tombstone?
Yeah, that was good.
The fact of how they milked it and didn't.
It was probably a shoot. That's why it didn't have.
Yeah, but still, like you still don't see it. Even if your knees do hurt, you're not going to sell it. They do things that are like spectacular, like when he does the elbow drop through the table. But they worked a 10 count for that. Yeah. When's the last time you even see a guy work a 10 count? And the way, how, I know you're tired of this, like when a guy gets like a 2.9 or something and they do the whole, like the Undertaker streak broken guy pose, and they do that. Well, MJF did it when he broke the 10 count, and that's when you should do it because that you can't believe. And that would be the proper reaction. So I don't know. I can't put MJF over enough when people just don't realize how good this fucking kid is. And he's been this good. I saw this, and Serge is in the chat. Surge can tell you, I saw this motherfucker do one vignette in MLW, and I sent that vignette to Surge and said, watch this kid. I didn't even see him step foot in the ring yet. I just saw one vignette of him at a mansion by a pool or something. I was like, watch this kid. He gets it. He's still not 30 yet, and he's better than almost everybody else out there, dude. And he got a good match out of Adam Cole that I'm saying is the best match that I've seen Adam Cole have.
Wow,
when I look back at the history of AEW matches that I've seen, and I think of some of, like, if I want to say my top 5 matches in company history, he's in almost all of them. It can't be a coincidence. I'm not that big of a mark. I can't be that easily worked. The kid is that fucking good.
And it's vet to AEW confirmed. I mean,
That's
now
right.
that we said
I'm
they
skipping
needed
straight
to do
over Impact. I'm going with Jimmy Jacobs.
I like that. That's where. So we've pretty much learned the stooge that Vet was stooging the Jimmy Jacobs ideas that ended up on Impact. Jacobs gets the job, open the forbidden door for Vet, and now Vet's going to be on Collision. If you really want to know how this all works out. Well, I'm glad we saw that. But the one thing that I did not like from this match, Vet, they do the Guerrero spot, whatever, and then he goes for the ring, and the fucking ref blocks his punch and rips the ring off him. Yeah. I was like, you gotta be shitting me right now.
This was Remsburg, wasn't it?
Yeah, dude. I did not like that at all. The ref blocks the punch of the champ. Come on, man.
I'm just gonna.
No,
look,
I get what you're saying on everything else.
You're right, though. You're right, but this is like I chalk that up to the look, dude. Every one of these refs is just trying to get over.
Yeah,
like they were all, you know. And I know you've talked about Don Stevens, whatever. Like Remsburg, to me, I'll take a Don Stevens over even Remsburg because Remsburg is so bad.
You're gonna take them all, baby, because we've got. We've got Briscoe family versus Jarrett family.
I'm excited. I love like 80% of the people in this match, so I'll take it. But yes, like that's just a matter, of course, for not only I'm not even going to put AEW refs on the spot. So many refs these days are guys that wanted to be workers and, you know, accepted a position like, you know, like as a consolation. So they've got that performer, that worker inside that wants to get out and they want to try to get over. It's just not for me. I don't appreciate it, but that is, you know, you're right. I didn't like that either, but that is one small part of the match. I'll take it. And I did like the actual spot. If Remsburg would have played it down better, you know, or like just caught him without physically restraining him or something like that. Yeah. You know, the idea was sound.
You're right. I agree. He should have stepped in and been like, take it off, chastise him until he makes him take it off.
You're not going to hit me. I'm the ref.
Yeah. But like, stop. I see what you're fucking doing.
Yeah.
Give me that. I was like, what the fuck, bro? That killed me, bro. That killed me.
Well, you gotta play to those people that are up in those plush seats on the hard cam side, kicking back. So.
I guess, but an excellent match and 30-minute opener, and here it comes. 1, 2, ding, 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 ding. You know, I'm in with the chat, and I go, this should probably go 30 minutes, and then go to a draw, and then everyone chants 5 more minutes.
I knew Cole was gonna say 5 more minutes, and I was watching it, going, just saying to MJF, get the fuck out, get the fuck out, get the fuck out, or just you know, like get out of that ring, don't give it to him, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, leave with the heat. But here's the problem: the heat is on the super smart neck beer fanboys because we had plenty of them in 2CW, and if it went to the time limit, they knew, conditioned as real former ECW fans, that 5 more minutes, 5 more, they would have started. Right. Nobody in the ring would have had to have gone, give me 5 more minutes. So they all sit there waiting. As soon as that would have happened, 2C Dub fans would have been on that shit, bro. So they're nowhere near as diehard or part of the show or supportive or knowing when it's their cue. They had to be led yeah, let's all chant it together now. And that popped me, dude. And then he leaves. So
Maybe
had their
everyone in the
chance.
crowd was stunned because they had just seen a pro wrestling match.
that could be it.
Yeah.
That could be it, Vet. But I agree with your summation. Pay-per-view quality, phenomenal performance by both guys, possibly their best ever, and really one that shows the indie guys that are on the fucking roster there that overbook everything, that less is more, and you can do big high spots, but you got to sell them for a reason, whether it's a 10 count or through a tables, and that falsie's there, and you just keep pushing that story. Not that 50 things and you kick out means something. It's when you kick out and why.
Yeah. Max is he's educating people. He's educating other wrestlers, or he's trying to. I don't know if they're all getting the message. I don't know if the fans are getting the message, but you and I can see what he's doing is he's putting those lessons in the ring. He's letting you know that when you turn on those podcasts and you hear those cornets, or you hear those, Nashes, or anybody that's like a vocal, critic or whatever, like he's doing the things that they're saying to let people know that you got to learn.
Is that, let me ask you this. Is that Pat Buck, Brian Myers, Zack Ryder, Kevin Matthews, and coming through Rip Rogers through those conduits?
No, because those guys don't do it. They never have. No offense to them. He's somehow it's guys that take what they've learned from those master teachers like the Rip Rogers and whatever, and they go above and beyond, and they try to apply that and then think of new things or new old things. Not only the, you always say good artists create and great artists steal and make it their own. But I say that truly great artists also create. So,
Vince Russo, you're on air on Light the Fuse, pal. Just to let you know.
What's going on, Ben Hockeney?
Y'all, I'm on with the Vet right now. We're talking about last night's AEW show. We're trying to figure out if Tony is an AI or if he's going to actually buy Turner Broadcasting System at the end of the day.
Very, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Is there anything you need me kayfabe wise?
Yeah, there is, but I'm live, bro. So I'm going to show everybody my stupidity. Remember when I had that problem with her and I got logged out of everything?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know how to log back into my fantasy baseball page as the administrator. I should have that. I'll just have to go back through my emails. So after I'm done with this, I'll take a look at that. All right, I'd appreciate it, man. Not a problem, but I definitely want 2 picks for today, so you can text those to me so I can. Oh, I will. I'll text them to you right now. What was I last time? 4 for 4, bro. You were 4 for 4, and if you guys haven't signed up for Vince Russo's Fantasy Baseball, I mean, this season's closed, but he does give away picks weekly. So if you're into the FanDuel and DraftKings, definitely a great sign up if you're doing a little gambling on the side. But please gamble responsibly. Thank you, my friend. So you'll let me know, Ben? Yeah, absolutely, Vince. I'll check it out. All right. Thanks, bro. You're welcome, buddy. Talk to you soon. There you go. Channel.
He's running in everywhere.
Yeah, man. All kinds of run-ins, high-level run-ins. So, I got to think about where that is now and get back on track. But it's a phenomenal opener that should have been a main event, but you put it in the opening spot and do the time limit draw. Leave with your heat, drop them of 5 minutes. I thought A+ segment all around. Well, A-. I gotta take it off for that fucking ref spot. That hurt me, bro.
And we've seen this before, where they want to start strong and then have the real main event up top. Especially you're gonna do stuff like they did the hour draw, with Danielson and Hangman before, and they want to start off with that. So it's almost like saying, we don't count on everyone sticking around by the end, but at the same time, it is good to just, light the fuse and kick it off with a bang.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you need hype for Canada, and a bold choice, and that stood out. Renee Paquette interviews Sammy Guevara, who actually comes out with a shirt on and not a jacket with no shirt, because he's getting ready to live that dad life. Don't you know? The announcement of a baby girl on the way. Mad bills to pay. That's why you drink Tanqueray. Before that, CM Punk video package is returned where he is. What would the stop be there in Wicker Park? God damn it, I can't think of what it would be. The brown line is right there. Brown line, red line train, Wicker Park and Damon, I believe. And he has got something to say. He's got something to get off his chest, but until he gets in the ring and has that mic in his hand, he's not going to know exactly what that is. Is he going to bury Colt Cabana's mom? Is he going to, put over his favorite pita shop over on Lincoln? Who knows until he's got that mic in his hand.
Yeah. Well, that's why you want to tune in, right? You just never know. But yeah, it's kind of like you can even see how this is going, right? You can see because you've already announced the main event. So what are we gonna start off the show with? We probably would have wanted to keep it a complete surprise up until now, but those damn ticket sales. So let's announce it. And then he's gonna come out and he's gonna start to say some things, but before he gets into anything too juicy, then we're gonna have the Bullet Club Gold come out and all this stuff, and we're going to set up the main event that we've already announced probably. So that's what I see happening, but they could prove me wrong.
Damon Brown Line. Doors open on the right at Damon. That's a fun little neighborhood though, man. A lot of good restaurants right down in there. Absolutely. In Wicker Park area of Chicago. Renee Paquette is then shown in the ring as she brings out Sammy Guevara. He's had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, but while he admits he's suffering short of winning the World AEW title, he's going to have his goal is to have a baby in one arm and the title in the other. Before this happens, he needs to make some changes in AEW. Darby Allin comes out and drops in on him, and Darby just does this weird pandering of like, I heard they almost like you, and like it was Jericho Appreciation Society holding you down. Out comes Jericho, gets in Sammy's face about the sex gods. And then it's Sting. Stinger comes out and puts a bat in Jericho's face. And Jericho's people got bats and they're knocking bats out of people's hands. And it's very phallic and homoerotic all in one with painted face guys and rock stars and sex gods and new dads to be. So, yeah, there was another weird thing to where somebody asked, would Jericho have a match with Sting? And Sting and Jericho's like, absolutely not. I never would, which now looks to me like he's just working the internet in order to get his shit going forward here. So good job using smart little things along those lines where somebody probably got leaked that the program was Sting and Jericho coming up. And then they asked him about it. And he's like, no, I never would. So looks like he gets goaded into a match, right? So, but Sting fucking kicks the shit out of everybody. Sting actually goes to take a buckle. Or is this in the 6-man later? Yeah, that's later. Yeah. Because we kind of Sting backs everybody out of the ring, and then we cut to somebody that I'm sure you're going to know more about than I do, Sonata, in a pre-tape interview saying he'll be there for the Open IWGP Championship at the Forbidden Door, and he's waiting a reply for anybody in the roster. So, I'm not sure who they're going to choose, but there's a wide variety of people to face Sonata.
Well, we found out later on this show, but Sonata's interesting because he's kind of like, they made him the guy. He was always almost the guy, and then they made him the guy very recently. And so that's kind of interesting, but it seems like as the guy, he's in a lower profile spot on the card, especially when we see who answers the challenge. It's like, this is the champion. But Sonata's gimmick has always been kind of it's similar in a way to Orange Cassidy in that he seems to be like bored, without a personality to the point of lethargy is kind of the way he does it. Now, he's more of like a finesse wrestler. He does a lot of technical stuff and a little light, high flying, but he's always had that sort of like disinterested, type of character. It's worked for him, but now that he's the guy, he's kind of changed it. He's a unique individual. He's going to be very hard for like people that haven't seen him before to read or get a handle on, I feel.
Gotcha. Maybe if he's, Abbott needs Costello, right?
Yeah, I think
we just need somebody, or Chris Farley, David Spade. I mean, Spade's funny, but you know what I mean?
Well, fun.
Straight man, you need somebody big and over the top.
Right. He's definitely like a deadpan, like his humor, his sense of humor is a deadpan thing. And funny enough, a little fun thing to bring it all full circle, since we had the run in from Vinny Rue, but the group he's in New Japan is called Just Five Guys, and one of those five guys is Taka Michinoku, still going really strong. Yeah,
nice. Mm-hmm. One of my favorites for sure. Mogul Embassy versus Sting, Darby Allin, Keith Lee, and Orange Cassidy. So we get an Elite 8 here, and very strange out of nowhere,
Can I say one thing though? I did like, because when they do this thing, which it's the spot I call Hit Everybody's Music, where they all come out. It's what we just saw with Sammy and the Jericho and all these guys, right? What I did like though is they did that, but a lot of the guys coming out were about to be in this match. So at least they're going from something that it's looked like we're breaking in for our schedule, and they almost never do that. It's usually on AEW, it's we're all going to come out, we're going to hit everybody's music, we're all going to get in each other's face, then we're going to go to break, and everybody's just going to disperse, and then it's going to be something completely different when we come back. So this way, I like this. Even though it's still stupid, it's better to transition into guys that are like, hey, we have a reason to be out here, actually.
No, you're absolutely right. Here's the thing, and doesn't matter because he's 3-time Booker of the Year, so he's already at the top of his game. But these things that I'm seeing like that, and that you're seeing, the way these Sonata promos were put in, that transition and from scene to that's growing up. Now you're starting to learn, or somebody around you is telling you, and you're listening, and you're allowing them to write that transition and be like, we'll move from here to here, and it will go. That now we've moved from kindergarten to second grade, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Tony seems like the kind of guy that knows exactly what he wants, but he doesn't seem like he would be adverse to switching around the order if someone says this would make more sense like this.
And it just
he's still getting the thing he wants.
Yeah. The last night's show, even though you opened with a half hour and it was a killer, it flowed. The whole show flowed through, as opposed to like start, stop, that makes some of these just like absolutely fucking brutal to sit through, whether it's Raw or Dynamite or whatever. So there was some little tricks and punch-ups like you said, that carried from one into the next, where we got a little bit of verbiage, but it's going to end in violence. I liked Brian Cage as the Road Warrior look last night. Still not kind of working his size on some stuff. I wish he would work fucking just like Hawk or Animal,
Never gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. But big code reds, all kinds of power bombs, big shotguns, fucking Keith Lee Bearcats up, comes out looking like Dumbledore. He's fucking smashing people. It was high action, and
he almost landed on that monkey flip, when Brian Cage gave him the monkey flip, he almost landed it, but God.
That's why I was like, why, man? Why are we doing fucking monkey flips with these two fucking behemoths, bro? That's fucking King Kong and Godzilla flipping them. Godzilla lands on his feet and does a double fucking slam on Mothra and whoever the fuck else, right? Yeah. Give me another.
That's what we all want to see.
Yeah, no.
Well, maybe during some of those ones in the 70s they were doing that, but not classic Godzilla.
Yeah, but no, that these guys should never be doing that spot. But then towards the end, with the ROH or the Embassy guys, fucking they go to shoot Sting in. Like there was a shoot reverse. Sting wanted to put the boot up, and then they switch out. Sting misses the turnbuckle by like 4 feet almost, and then gets in a position, come in and move on one. something was just weird and out of place there, man. And I was like, holy shit. That's the last thing you want to do, unless I guess you're Seth Rollins, is hurt Stinger. You're like, fuck, I get to be in there with Sting. And then you're like, did I just hurt Sting? Oh God, I hurt Sting.
There was a couple of things. There was a couple of things like that. There was another, the spot where Darby was coming in with the flying body attack and then Sting would follow up with the Stinger splash. Well, they ended up doing it 3 times because they didn't grab Sting on the second one. So he had to do it again. Right. But I can tell there was just a little bit of timing on some of that stuff that, Ben, it's hard to control a Hateful Eight or an Elite Eight or whatever.
Yeah, Hateful Eight is devastating, bro. Shitty 6 is bad enough. Here's what you're trying to do. Stay alive until the shotgun finish and not fuck up the flow.
Pretty much.
That's what it is. Tag in, tag out, hit somebody with something, double team, boom, we'll do a crotch split on you. I'll hold you here, tag, get the fuck out, or somebody's going to line me over. We'll fall on the outside, rumble, and you guys got the spotlight. We'll stay small. Like, that's the whole fucking match until feed in for fucking Keith Lee to pounce your ass. Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to extend the length of the show, but remind me sometime in the future to tell everybody about the time when I had to agent an 8-man where Judge Reason was the brains of the operation, and then they sent Joey Mercury to help me.
help you out for sure. That might be actually on my YouTube channel, buried deep someplace. Who knows? Inside the ring, Cage has Sting up and ready to win for Orange Cassidy. Hit the orange punch, which turns into a Scorpion Death Drop, and Stinger pulls out the W for the team. This is just a good moment for the guys in the ring. I don't give a fuck. You've been in this business 20 years. You ain't been in it 40. You look across the ring and Stinger's in your match. I've had this feeling many times. I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of legends because my gimmick allows me to. And it don't matter, man. All those guys in the ring were wrestling fans and are at one time, even no matter how much they've been abused by the system. And to have Stinger in your match is something you can go home at night and be like, that was fucking cool, man. I appreciate it.
They're probably arguing in the back over who gets to take a Scorpion. There was a lot of rottenness in this match, but you know what? Damn it. Like, the people were with it, and that's what I was feeling. I was feeling this match more than I was really seeing it. I just, I'm seeing the stuff that goes on. I'm fans of quite a few of the guys in this, and even though all the stuff was happening, I was just like, yeah, but the people are with it. So this is, even though I'm not a fan of 8-mans and I don't, I don't want to see some of these people in these situations where they could all be doing something more interesting, but just for this and the spot, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I did too. Here's what I would want. Why I hate the monkey flip shit where he almost landed on his feet to do a double line, get your shit in bullshit. Let's just go into, all right, we need a Keith Lee and a fucking Brian Cage big man spot. Keith Lee scoops up Brian Cage, but Brian Cage wiggles out the back because he's more athletic, but it shows Keith Lee's got power enough to do it. Boom, turn. Then Brian Cage scoops big man up, gets him up and slams him right there. You know what I mean? Goes to do off the rope, big splash or whatever, fucking high in the air. Then 1-2 kick out, right back up, and then catch him again, and then big man kills Brian Cage after that. So at least shine him, show him that he's there, and kick out that he's too strong. And then when you come back for the second thing, you catch him, and then you're fucked. Boom, and do the Mark Henry forward power slam or whatever it is right there, right? That's way better than, hey, big man, you're 370. I'm going to monkey flip you. You fucking land on your feet, double line the fucking guys. Come on, man. The other one's way simpler and gets both of your size over way more.
Yeah, I understand their thinking of it. They probably just wanted to send everybody home with the thought in their mind that they saw a 370-pound man flip and land on his feet, and that's what
not his job.
The other thing. Well, it is, but it is because he a younger Keith Lee. It's because he can. That's why guys like Cage and that's why guys like Keith Lee would do that stuff, because they can. But here's the thing, Ben. I'm with you on that. Like on the old school and the power.
Sorry,
well, wait.
Kalisto supposed to do? What are your luchas
I know,
supposed to do?
I know, but
fucking, the elephants just did your fucking job.
I know, but this is my thing. I want the power guys to have the power match. I want those guys to flex on guys like Kalisto and all those other guys when it's time. And then if you build up to a match where you have a Brian Cage that's been killing people with clotheslines and slams, and Keith Lee that's been killing people with shoulder tackles and press slams and whatever, and then now all of a sudden the unstoppable force meets the immovable object and they try each other's power shit on it. And then it's like, now we have to go to that next level, and now we have to break out that stuff if we could ever get to that. But these guys always give it away in any opportunity they have. It would be so awesome to see Keith Lee break that stuff out when he's like, the normal shit ain't working. So that's when it comes into play. But these guys do it every time out. Brian Cage has GMSI on his tights, for God's sake. Like, he does not care about psychology or any of that stuff. So there's just no talking to some people, but there is a time and place for it. Unfortunately, we've never actually gotten to it and built to it correctly.
I definitely hear what you're saying, can appreciate that and the way to build to it. But in my book, they shouldn't even be doing it because it's not their fruit to pick off the tree. Because as soon as you see a guy that size be able to do it, you just took all the magic away, even if he's not in your segment, from not all the magic, because they can still do a ton of shit. But Pentagon and Phoenix, now when they do that, it don't mean fuck all, because you already seen Keith Lee do it, and they shouldn't even be touching that move, bro.
Right.
So I get your psychology and the build to it, but I don't even want that because of what it does.
This all goes to like building cards, the psychology of shows and cards and long term and all that stuff. It's way too big for just this 1-8 man. So
yeah, I agree. But how are you going to follow that opener? By getting your shit in, I guess. The Guns are backstage and they show, they call out the Hardys for next week to come check out their sexy beards, I guess. So
yeah, cool.
Then Wardlow versus Jake Hager. I was pumped about this one. You and I both come up with Hager and respect his amateur background and the fact that he doesn't take shit too seriously. We're like, yeah, you guys will get your shit in. I'll get a purple hat over. Sure. Or what he did with We the People. And, that's always up and down from where that could have gone. And they never wanted to press the terrorist button with that, how they fucking absolutely should have, and could have really taken it to the next level or done anything with Latinos, how they should have to that level. But Hager jumps Wardlow and gets the upper hand. And this is a good slobber knocker, as JR would say. Two big fucking bull moose smashing the shit out of each other. But in the end, he sets in the ankle up and gets kicked away. Before he gets hit with a spine buster, and then 2.0 make their way to ringside to distract Wardlow. But Brock and Arn Anderson fight them to the back. With nobody at Wardlow's side, Hager takes advantage, slams him before attempting a splash, which countered by a kick in the face. Looked really good, actually, by the way, the way Hager took that kick. Wardlow then clotheslines him over the top, launches over the top, down onto Hager below again. Shouldn't be doing the fucking big fucking blimp coming down on him. Like, why are we doing topes when we're power wrestlers? He follows with a senton inside the ring and a power.
We got to show up Keith Lee and
right?
Brian Cage.
That's the thing.
Fuck
that's
them.
the thing, bro. Why are we doing the fucking Hindenburg dive, man? You don't need to. You like, as soon as you come to the fucking ring, people got their money's worth. You're jacked up. You're everything they couldn't be. And we don't need to do fuck all. We can lock up and throw each other off and go, oh, brother, if we want to for 5 minutes. We don't need to dive. That takes away everything from our luchas. What the fuck? But he won. He's still your TNT champion. It's Wardlow, baby.
Didn't these guys have an MMA fight on this show a few years ago? They want us to forget that?
Points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we get a botch of the night. Christian Cage and Luchasaurus are shown on the screen, and no one can hear what the fuck they're saying in the crowd or on TV. So about halfway through the promo, we get Is this the one that we couldn't hear? Yeah. But then Arn Anderson is on the stairs, bloody and beaten up, and that draws Wardlow running to the back.
Yeah.
So
another one of these things with an Anderson and some stuff on his head.
Yeah.
And at some point during the other match, didn't him and the kid come out and start fighting with somebody?
Yeah.
This is before they kidnapped and bludgeoned Arn Anderson.
Yeah, they were busy. It was a busy night backstage.
Yeah.
Just random beatings of senior citizens.
That's right.
Excuse me, cough button. Then we get Hiroshi Tanahashi. That sounds delicious. I go for sushi. Is shown in pre-tape challenging MJF at Forbidden Door. Then here's the news from Renee Paquette and says no as far as Tony Khan booking him. This wouldn't be the first time he no-showed, as he tells Tanahashi, "No can do, bud," and then tells Renee to get the fuck out.
Perfect.
Perfect. It was good. It was good.
Renee's very busy.
Yeah.
On this night.
I saw an outtake with her and RJ City where she throws a kick at the camera and her titty pops out. She's like, "Oh, you almost got a titty there," and RJ's like, "Oh."
Yeah. Dude, RJ City's so funny. They need to have him on this show more. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so Hiroshi Tanahashi, obviously a legend. John Cena of Japan, basically. Like, they kind of were doing the same thing at the same time, where the company was in a weird place and they relied on those guys to sort of like carry them through it. So the WWE had Cena to kind of carry them through that weird time that's coincidentally the time that we were getting involved in. And then at the same time over in Japan, the houses were the shits. Everything was fucked up. And they put it on Tanahashi's back and he carried him up out of it. So RJ Titty. So this is the perfect person for MJF because Tanahashi is a classic pro wrestler. He doesn't do anything stupid. He totally gets this business and everything that's great about it. And that's exactly the kind of person I could see MJF saying, "I want to work with Tanahashi."
Yeah, sure.
Obviously he's never going to say that in public, but I'm sure that, that's how his mind would think. This was supposed to be Punk's match last year, before Punk was hurt or whatever happened there. And Tanahashi ended up facing Moxley instead. And that wasn't so great, but we know whose fault that was. And so this will be good because, MJF knows what to do and Tanahashi knows what to do. This should be a very low-key but anticipated match on the card.
Yeah, it'll be good to see how he goats him into it. So the turn down and, MJF knows where they got to take him.
Right. And Tanahashi's, he's now he's on the downswing because his knees are so shot and he just can't do what he used to do anymore, but the psychology's still there. Yeah, exactly. That's why I say this is the perfect person for this guy.
We then get Tony Storm, the champ, is going to take on Sky Blue in a women's championship match. Must be Sky Blue's hometown. Her mom's at ringside. And Tony Storm with the rough and tough with her afro puffs.
Hey, rock on with your bad self.
Thank you, pal. Shotzi, or not Shotzi, fucking
the other Shotzi.
Ruby Soho's with her with a sign for Baby Gal with the L up there. So
great.
Baby Gal's not in the house. I'm not sure where she is tonight, but wish her well.
The commentator said that she wouldn't set foot in a town like Washington, D.C. or whatever this place is.
Well, I can't blame her that way. You might get fucking kidnapped and sex trafficked out of there through Comet Ping Pong. Yeah, man, Sky Blue looking cute. And really, it's about heat with mom at ringside. This whole thing, they spray paint mom in the face with fucking the green paint. I thought that was a good take.
What a sell by the mom. Just sit back down.
Yeah,
she didn't do the Bianca sell.
Just disgraced.
Right.
But Blue sprays Storm in the face, and it's a code blue, but Soho distracts the official. Sky Blue super kicks her off the apron, and then they allows the champ to hit the Storm Zero. But Blue kicks out of your finish. Why the fuck not?
That hometown resurgence.
Yeah, the Texas Cloverleaf gets locked in, and Storm retains her title. Your winner and still champ, Tony Storm. rock on with your bad self.
I thought I liked this. Now, Sky Blue, we know there's only one, well, maybe two reasons why she's actually being featured on as much TV as she is, and I'm fine with that. And Tony's this is going to be her best match because she's got Tony taking her through it. I would have switched that finish. Instead, I would have had the drama with the cloverleaf, and she gets to the ropes, and now she's crippled and just turns around into the Storm Zero. That's what I would have done. You look way better getting knocked out than giving up. So
let me put this by you: you got super marks everywhere, and you're not playing to the sheets. That's the big problem, especially with the Aubrey stuff. But that's a whole other conversation. Mm-hmm. Sky Blue, nobody's thinking about her. It's her hometown. Mom's at ringside. We get heat on Mom. Spray her in the face. Boom. Fucking, she comes to break it up. But right before she sprays Mom in the face, comes to break it up, pop. Sky Blue rolls back in, spray Mom. Mom does her sell, turn back in. Sky Blue, as Tony Storm comes back in, fireball right in the fucking face, pins her. Because the only thing that anybody was talking about Sky Blue this week was from a podcast interview where she said they were excommunicated from their church because she lit a little boy on fire or lit some kid on fire with it. So if that's what people are talking about, I want a heel turn in your hometown. It could even be a baby face. Be like, yeah, fuck it. She hit her in the face with fire after spraying Mom, right? Like, but Sky Blue, even as a baby face, pyromaniac that fucking wins with fire. What do you think about that?
Well, as the new head of AEW Creative, I'm going to veto that. Okay. We don't want to give anybody any ideas. Nobody reads the dirt sheets, so we're not going to sell for the dirt sheets, and we're just going to get the right business over.
I think Fireball to the face.
Right, Jimmy?
Yeah. Hey, dude, Fireball to the face won this one. I'm just letting you know it works.
Well, you don't have an ass like Sky Blue, so
I don't have an ass at all, really, to be honest with you.
Some people need fireballs.
Yeah, man.
Get me fireballs.
Get me hot balls.
Do we have a pay-per-view called that?
Yeah. After the match, they attacked Blue until Willow Nightingale sprints down, looking all the thickness. She was looking good. Down to the ring, tell you the even numbers with Saraya. Baby girl's not here tonight. Jungle Hook are then backstage, and Jungle Boy reveals he feels naked without the title. So he's accepting Sonata's open challenge. So we find out already that it's Jungle Boy versus Sonata, two guys with very little charisma are gonna fucking pair off, I guess, here. And
Sonata has his charisma is that there's seemingly no charisma. I'm not saying he doesn't have it. I'm saying he's doing it on purpose. Jungle Boy really doesn't have any, and it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a weird fucking match.
I heard they were actually gonna do picture in picture with this match and a wall with paint drying. It'll say wet paint on there, and you can watch either one to see which one has more charisma.
It could be. We'll see. As a head of AEW Creative, I approve this.
Big shout out to my man Brando's in the house too, man. Hopefully you're doing well, buddy. Good to see you hanging and banging with the HMGs here live, twitch.tv/Hameen Media, Ben Hameen YouTube channel, demonetized, which is why we ask you to subscribe to channelattitude.com for all the great shows. Friday Locker Room is going to be a banger, and I just uploaded all this week's shows, so those will all be coming out here shortly so you can catch up. He says it would mean the world to him if Hook would be in his corner, and Hook gives him the fucking fist bump, brother. This would have been 10 times better if it was and we went to Jacksonville, and we did this as a whole locker scene in a high school where I'm so tormented, bro. I feel naked without my title, and I think I'm going to accept the open challenge from Sonata. But I just need to ask you, Hook, would you be in my corner, bro? Bro, you know, I always got your fucking back. Lay it in, bro. Let's do this. Domo arigato, motherfucker. And then,
Yeah. All right. Well, it sounds like you're
standing there as opposed to standing there with our fucking, we're scared of life.
I'm going to forward that creative over to NXT, where you can hear myself and Big Ray break it down every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern live right here on Hami Media Group.
Good. Well,
because that's the kind of stuff they're doing over there. Except it's not up to 90210 level. It's more like Lizzie McGuire, but they're I don't know what demo they're targeting over there, but it's that definitely sounds like it's right up their alley.
I'll stooge it. I don't give a shit because I don't care anymore in this business. If I make or whatever, I'm opening a weed dispensary. That guy, it's called Jacksonville 32034, and it got sent to Con last week, and with all the trimmings, with the cameos in the right way, and we'll see. But when I see things like last night of accepting, and I just put it through that lens. How tough would that have been to have a traveling set of lockers, make it look like high school up against it, and do that exact same thing instead of having it be in there? Dude, I got to produce that in less than 5 minutes.
Can we possibly use our state-of-the-art special effects and get like a Jedi Force ghost of Luke Perry in the back, like
all that shit should be dude.
Yeah.
When I put it in there, it's got all the fucking Tiffany Amber Thiessen, Tori Spelling, and fucking Jason Priestley cameos in it.
Nice.
It's all that. Yeah, you could definitely do the fucking Gone But Not Forgotten on the wall in the back or whatever, right? Then we get Blackpool Combat Club versus the Young Bucks and Adam Page. Shitty 6 all the way around here, and it just goes hardcore with everybody chucking each other out of the ring, and everyone's getting their knee shit in, cross bodies, uppercuts, dives upon dives, and super kicks. But this is a Young Bucks match. I've seen Young Bucks matches at 2CW where I want to shit on a lot of things, but the way they build into these explosive comebacks there where one thing stacks on another one and everybody feeds, it does give you as a viewer a different psychology, but makes you feel like, oh yeah, even though they've buried a lot of shit early on. And I don't like the early on burials, but they've kind of perfected their style, and this really fit into it pretty well, until we get a run-in from Lois. Eddie Kingston comes running in, right? After the Elite go over. And I've worked a good amount of shows in Rochester with Kingston. And, I think the guy's an awesome promo, man. And he had to go out for hernia surgery. And he's going to come in and clean house looking like that, bro. Like, all you're doing is opening yourself up to AEW botches to rip you apart of not looking the part. And if they really needed somebody, they could have fit almost anybody in here. I know Eddie Kingston's worked his ass off for decades to try and get the shot. And now you got it. And there's no excuse to, like, especially when you're on the shelf and you get a chance at a comeback, to not go, bro, I just look like shit. I haven't been able to work out. I want to come back soon. I'm going to do P90X. I'm going to lose fucking 40 pounds so no one can say shit. Now it's the exact opposite of that. It's some dad god bod shit. AEW botches is just over there ready to carve everybody up. So then they can try and get to him so he can have a bipolar reaction and fuck up his own push, like all the troll shit, instead of going, you're just not ready, bro, to be on camera, and letting them know as a good brother that I need you to lose 40 pounds for your own mental health, for what we pay you for, and that's what needs to be. Instead, it was just like cringy kind of, bro, you know what I mean? And then we catch Moxley and Matt Jackson talking on the outside, like, it's not a good look, man,
Well, in fairness to Eddie, because I don't know him at all, but in fairness to Eddie, he always looks like this. So I mean, it's nothing out of the ordinary for Eddie Kingston fans, I guess. I of course would always advise everyone to be taking the best care of themselves that they can, especially with, you know, he wants to be like.
Here's the other thing: he quit AEW to go to ROH. He showed up in ROH. I quit, brother.
Oh, yeah.
And showed up.
Well, okay, but all right, but I'll just answer that with who's the Ring of Honor champion?
I have no idea.
It's Claudio.
Samoa Joe. Oh,
it's Claudio.
Okay.
Claudio's the Ring of Honor champion, and he went right after Claudio.
You got me pissed off here for 1 second because this whole AEW self-help group and Light the Fuse is under protest and will be taken to wrestlers' court because last night in the belt count, I chose 10 belts and we got to 9, thankfully, from our friends in New Japan being on the show having belts as well. And Claudio's the champ. Came in.
We didn't talk about him either.
Claudio, yeah, we'll get there. Claudio's the champ, and he did not come out with the belt, leaving us at 9 belts when I bet 10 for the over-under, and he's the champ and didn't come out with the belt. There's big heat right here. Why did he not come out with it? Is the betting rigged already? And you know, this
is huge. This is huge breaking news here, and I think we may have to just shut this down right now and reconvene at a later time to, you know, but that's the thing.
Sal D'Amato's in on it in some way. I'm definitely hot about that from last night. Claudio screwed us big time.
If there's a champion in the ring, but there is no belt, does it count? He's representing a belt. A belt is just a prop, but he's still a champion. I mean, what do we really? I guess you have to redefine. You have to look at and redefine exactly what you're counting here. Are you counting champions? Are you counting belts? Is it the physical object that you're betting on? I think you guys have to like redraw the whole charter and the rules and everything.
Well, if it was just in a recap, then it meant no. But if it was in a recap with cut in character monologues, then it was yes. Mm-hmm. And now this caveat's been added in there, and I feel like somebody specifically worked the fucking loophole to create this scenario, which means doesn't matter win or lose, that there's an inside job going on. So we're gonna fucking find out about this.
Yeah. Perhaps we should just scratch last night from the record and return all monies to their original.
We'll see, but that doesn't mean there isn't a corrupt party amongst us.
True.
So we're definitely getting it back. But Matt Jackson attacks Moxley. Kingston stops it. Moxley gets fired up against his friend, where it's like, all right, I'm beating the shit out of everybody, but you and I are boys. So, this is the big PWG mark out of like, whose side will they choose? The Japan influence of, and here comes Takashita, and he's going to clear house. And whose side will they choose? Are they still friends? Oh no, the conflict, the drama, all this stuff is always stupid to me, bro. Come down and fuck somebody up and get the repercussions later. They're like stopping in the middle of like, but you and I are friends. And then, okay, but I'll punch your other friend and not you. Like, it all feels 4th grade elementary school to me. And I know that's what they like in some of the fucking New Japan stuff, but I always think it's stupid. Until those run-ins weren't enough. Osprey's here, hot off of his fucking don't do spots in the car promo. I fucked my life up. And then he's going to kick, first Kenny Omega, Hulk up off of Takashita, and then he's going to kick Kenny Omega out of nowhere and stand over him and beat the fuck out of him.
More hit guys music. Kenny was watching his friends get beaten up, you know, before the other guy that he hates came out, you know, like, and then this all went, you know, downhill pretty quickly after, like you said, it was I don't like most of these people, you know, as opposed to the 8-man we talked about earlier, but much like the 8-man, it had the same fun energy. So the crowd was with it. So I forgive everything. But then once you get to this part, the post match, that's when it starts to be like, all right. And I was okay, cool. Eddie Kingston's here, everything like that. But then it starts like, all right, now let's start playing more music. And if they all just ran out, that would be a one thing. It'd be ridiculous enough. But when when you're doing the hit my music spots, then it takes away any of the actual like intensity or the realism of the I gotta get my shit in, but play my music first. So
right.
That whole thing. And I don't know I don't know where you were throwing New Japan under the bus. They don't do shit like this. What are you talking about?
It always
this is not their thing. That's the PWG thing. It's the PWG that does this weird emotional shit.
But we're friends. But there's your friends. Fuck them. Bye, bye. Like,
no, this has never happened in New Japan. This has never happened in New Japan.
It does. It happens all the time.
No, it never does.
But man. All in all, big, explosive, heightening, exploring in a lot of these segments. I didn't mind the stacked run-ins. I wish for Kingston's own get-over that he would have had the opportunity to come back in much better shape. I understand coming back from a hernia is no easy fucking thing, but
right.
You rarely get a second chance, and to make those impressions, and here we are of like, dude, they're gonna carve them up. So it's tough. It's tough, man.
Well, they do that anyway. They're gonna talk shit about Kingston, and
why give them an in? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't even know why he puts it over. Sometimes he's above all this. He's made it. Eddie Kingston has made it. Let me just say that. In case anybody's watching this, clipping this, and Eddie Kingston's going to hear this too, you made it, Eddie. Don't worry about what everybody says, but do take care of yourself, whatever that means to you. That's the best I can offer as a guy that's never met you in his life.
Trigger the bipolar shit. And like, I would have liked it if he came down looking like that and with an ice pick and stabbed a couple guys. That would have been fun. That'd have been fun.
Well, as head of AEW Creative, I vetoed that idea because I'm sure he did want to. Yeah. I thought we've seen enough screwdrivers. We don't need more similar type things. But
yeah, he wasn't even scheduled. Just came really to stab some people and leave.
That's it. And so, but it wasn't. I see a fun fact too about Eddie Kingston. He was announced to be in the G1 this year. So after this hernia surgery, he's going to go through the most grueling tour that professional wrestling has to offer against a bunch of guys that bust their ass every night. So
yeah, man,
have fun, Eddie.
He's been, right. I can only imagine body-wise what he feels like too, like I do. But he's been working hard to get to this point for.
He's going to get in shape.
Yeah, you're going to
because the G1 lasts all month long. So he's going to be on tour. He's going to be eating this low-calorie Japanese food. He's going to be busting his ass and sweating every night because most of those buildings don't have fucking air conditioning. Because as technologically advanced as we like to think Japan is, a lot of it is just farms. So they have all these buildings where they're just like pouring sweat in the middle of that ring under those hot lights and stuff. So Eddie Kingston might lose that 40 pounds during the G1. Oh
boy, the G1 workout coming soon, pal. Oh shit!
We'll get a review from Stevie Richards Fitness pretty soon too.
Yeah, right. That was excellent. Excuse me. Well, I got to look up Russo's fantasy baseball logins, do some more cannabis, then go to Upstate Wrestling Experience tonight and teach there, you guys. So it's going to be a full day to finish out the day here at HMG. But I was so glad to spend the afternoon with you, Vet. Thank you very much for hitting me up, man. Come on in and co-host Light the Fuse today, buddy. I know you got plenty going on here with all the other shows you captain with Next Level Review and Impact Attack. What else on the agenda for you, pal?
Well, it even would have been the Monday Locker Room this week, but Twitter and their notifications just don't even.
Oh, good.
But that's all right. That's all right. This will never happen again. I'll always be on standby. And as for where you can find me, on social media at Opinion Haver everywhere, that'll take care of that. You can find me on the Next Level Wrestling Review with Big Ray Hernandez every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. You can find me every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern for the Impact Attack, where I am maybe the new head of creative in Impact, or me and Jimmy Jacobs have gone to AEW. I lost. I don't know what happened. Maybe I'm getting 2 paychecks. Who knows? A lot of people in Impact have had to get 2 paychecks. So from what I hear, but you can find me talking about their stuff over there on that. You can find me sometimes guest starring on the PWC network. You never know where I'm going to show up. Wrestling with Rip Rogers just had Ryback on. Next week they might have me on. You just never know where I'm going to show up. And of course, like I mentioned, our man Stevie Richards is doing big things. He just dropped another episode of the Big Fitness Show. He just dropped another review. He's done a year-long review of the Fight Camp. That video just went up a couple hours ago. So he talks about from when he first got the Fight Camp heavy bag and workout. And now a year later, where he's at with it was the condition of the bag. So quick 10-minute review video just popped up for Stevie. He can't be stopped, Ben. You try to stop him. I hear you. I hear you and Vince trying to stop him. He refuses to be stopped. And some people just aren't happy unless they're unstoppable. So
he's a truck man now, so he keeps on trucking.
Right.
That's what he does.
He's got a truck review video too. So Stevie Richards Fitness, everything, man. Check Stevie Richards out, guys.
Absolutely, man. Super happy for him and proud of the work he's doing always. And it was a great week at Russo Brand Master Shoot. Was a lot of theater, a lot of fun. A lot of Master Shoot theater was a lot of fun on Fuck Island. It was a good time all the way around. So y'all, man, appreciate you guys tuning in live with us in the chat. Hopefully have a kick-ass week again. All apologies, no SmackDown Live self-help group tomorrow nights. As I'll be on with Cafe Day Renee, his podcast over there on Patreon, doing the watch along with him. Always have a fun time making him laugh, and it's crossovers like that. And the vet being an ambassador for HMG. Big shout out to Bulletproof Blake Troop as well.
Oh yeah,
had us on NWA and his fight camp stuff, putting out his promo pictures, the big HMG logo, the Horseshoe Genetics logo. All that stuff, man, makes me so proud and happy when we're all representing each other. I think that's always the way forward, the true community that we've built here, and everybody doing everything they can to support each other. That's how it all moves forward. And even if it stays where it is, the best have already found each other. So y'all, on behalf of the vet, Hacker Hameen, and the rest of the HMG crew, this was Light the Fuse, infidels. Y'all.
We are in